What's going on, guys? Andrew here with another episode of East Coast Tech. So with Computex on the horizon and to what I'm sure will bring an influx of new computer tech, I'd like to do a video today about the top 5, in my opinion, tech releases of 2017 thus far. Also, not in any particular order. So let's dive into it. First on our list is Intel 7th Gen processors and the Z270 chipset. Kaby Lake, like Skylake before, is built on the same 14nm process, and most notable features include higher clock speeds, higher native turbo speeds, and improved integrated graphics. Other than that, not much has changed since its predecessor, Skylake. As far as the SKUs are concerned, we have a similar structure previously used by Intel. Their flagship, Core i7 7700K, is an unlocked quad-core chip with hyper-threading, followed by several quad-core Core i7 and Core i5s. And the Kaby Lake architecture also marks the first appearance of a dual-core Pentium chip with hyper-threading, the G4620. This chip marks an unusual change in Intel's marketing practice, decent value per dollar. The G4620 pays homage to the Pentium G3258 Anniversary Edition, which was another great value per dollar CPU. Although the G4620 lacks overclocking capability, a dual core with hyperthreading allows for what could potentially be a decent gaming rig or even a cheap home NAS, or something similar. I actually opted for the 7700K and Z270 chipset motherboard when upgrading my personal rig earlier this year. Next on the list for my favorite tech releases of 2017 is AMD Ryzen. Ryzen marks AMD's newest architecture release since 2011. The Zen architecture, built on a 14nm FinFET process, boasts an increased instructions per clock, simultaneous multi-threading, which is AMD's equivalent to hyper-threading, and finally support for DDR4 memory via the new AM4 socket on their new line of motherboards. We see a fierce competitor against Intel's Haswell-E and Broadwell-E chips, as well as their more mainstream ones. On the higher end, we have Ryzen 7, AMD's flagship trio of chips, which include the 1800X, 1700X, and 1700, each sporting 8 cores and 16 threads of varying clock speeds. Later in the year, we saw Ryzen 5 released, and this batch of SKUs marked themselves competitively with Intel's Core i5 and even some of their i7 lineup, albeit with more cores and threads than Intel currently offers at those price points. I would like to point out that I am currently working on a Ryzen build to function as a badass editing rig, and I'd like to you look at Ryzen for use in a poor man's workstation platform. More on this in the weeks to come. Third up to bat is the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080 Ti. This beast of a graphics card was met with a bit of controversy when it was released. It debuted as a card that was essentially better than the then current Titan X, which much to the dismay of the then Titan X owners. And then to add insult to injury, NVIDIA releases an official Titan X Pascal card shortly after the release of the 1080 Ti, further screwing over any previous Titan X owners. Yeah. This turn of events was met with anger and discomfort from the PC enthusiast community, including tech reviewers such as Jay from Jay's 2 Cents. But the card is really good. At an MSRP of $699 US, it launched at what the original 1080 launched at, which also stepped down the price of the 1080 and 1070 cards respectively. I believe the introduction of the 1080 Ti was actually a progressive leap forward for the graphics card market. Due to this price structure, it allows for entry-level buyers to obtain 1440p gaming for a fair price, while not breaking the wallet of the more serious enthusiast for the higher-tiered cards. All in all, NVIDIA appears to be dominating the graphics card scene at multiple price points, ranging from the 1080p killer, the GTX 1050 and Ti variants, up to its consumer flagship, the Titan X. Okay, what are we up to? 4? Alright. Anyways, apparently fourth on the list is the advent of RGB RAM, previously deemed impossible and unfathomable, yet here it is. Released by reputable brands such as Corsair and G.Skill, we officially have RAM that will enhance one's own lighting theme within their rig. Now, there is an RGB RAM kit from another company called Gale, but it's more of like an LED strip attached to a RAM heat spreader. Whereas options from G.Skill and Corsair have the LED circuitry linked to proprietary software run through your PC's operating system. 2016 began the RGB lighting trend that we are currently see going well into 2017, and RGB can pretty much be found on every peripheral under the sun, from PC motherboards to mouse pads. We have definitely hit the summit of what is available in RGB with these new memory SKUs. Lastly, and I did accidentally save the best for last, is Intel's new Optane technology, specifically the M.2 Optane modules. Now, back when SSDs were super expensive, ancient PC enthusiasts would pair them with cheaper and larger capacity hard drives for caching purposes, so that they could speed up their rigs significantly without the need of an SSD-only boot drive. The M.2 Optane modules expand on that original concept and bring them into the modern age with PCIe 3.0 by 4 speeds. Forgetting the fact that Intel pretty much invented a new storage and memory architecture in the process, the technology behind it, the 3D crosspoint, actually blurs the line between SSDs and hard drives and even RAM, to which Intel wants to use as a means of speeding up existing systems, and hey, their Optane modules can do just that. Currently, I am planning on an Intel Optane 30-day challenge where I'll use an Optane module with a traditional hard drive for basically what I do with my PC now, and compare it to my experience thus far with my Samsung 960 EVO NVMe SSD. Now, there's plenty of other honorable mentions here, such as the RX 500 series graphics cards, and I didn't even touch on PC cases or other external peripherals, but all in all, as technology grows and advancements are made in the PC industry, I'm sure that we will always be surprised by what they can think of next. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, hit that like button. If you hated it, dislike it. Get subscribed. If you want to purchase any of the products talked about in today's video, there will be links in the video description. As always, this was Andrew with East Coast Tech, and I'll see you next time.